The Romans in our pockets. Hi, I'm Mickey Duddier. In the last few days, I've had a couple of conversations with parents that speak to a similar theme, namely the sense that our children are increasingly disappearing into their screens, into their smartphones, their gaming boxes, whatever it is, whatever screen it is. There's so many different kinds. But that they're increasingly drawn towards that world. And the shared feeling among the parents I spoke to is that the tug away from us into that world is getting stronger and stronger, not least as they age, as our children age. And some of the parents I talked to have given up even. Some of the parents I've talked to have no further moves. And so they let their children be. Which often means that they're in a closed room. The door is shut and they do what they do. And taking it away from them is, for some, impossible if we let it go too far. And when I was talking to these parents, it occurred to me something that has a historical precedent, something that is far greater than just the here and now and our children and the screens, because the groundwork has been laid for this to be such an intractable issue for many parents. And it goes back, well, thousands of years, but if we think of the Romans as an example, now you might think, well, what, I don't have time for the Romans. I got the dishes to do, the diapers to change, or the rooms to clean, or bills to pay, whatever. The Romans can wait. Well, what if it is true that they're actually here now? What if the smartphone is the consequence of the Roman way with the people they conquered? It's the inevitable consequence, and it is also one of the more powerful consequences that we are contending with. Now, I don't pretend to have a solution to this, certainly not a short-term solution. And there's very little coaching and mentoring in this, but there is some context, a bigger picture. So when the Romans conquered, there were lots of different ways they did that, of course. The cities they built were straight, so the armies could move through. They were on a grid pattern, so it was easy to oversee. That still survives us. That still survives them. That's still how a lot of cities, not least in the US, are set up. But they also, when they came to a country they conquered, a nation, a people they conquered, put steel in the ground. They plowed. They made straight lines, straight furrows. They changed the people's relationship to land, their connection to land, their ancestry to land, their deities. They chopped down their deities and they plowed the earth, and they introduced a new way of relating to creation. They also took young men, threatened their families, and took them away and recruited them into the army by force. And after they'd served 20 to 25 years, they were allowed a piece of land in another country, in another nation, with another people, to settle there as a Roman. And one of the more severe things they did, if that wasn't already severe enough, is that they severed the ties between people, between children and ancestors, grandparents, by killing a lot of the grandparents, killing a lot of the storytellers, a lot of the singers, a lot of the musicians, a lot of the people who told who held the basket of the culture. They killed them off, removed them, severed the ties. So there was a dislocation from time and a dislocation from place. Now, fast forward to today, and this little glowing, vibrating thing that we carry in our pockets near our groins that titillates us in so many ways and squirts dopamine into our children's brains. We don't need a plow. We don't need to take the elders away. We don't need to recruit anyone into the army and send them into a foreign country and resettle them as Romans. That little thing in the pockets of our children is doing all of that. It is making a lot of what has gone before the children obsolete. It helps them to forget, or it prevents them from remembering who they come from and where they come from. It makes location obsolete. It doesn't matter where you are as long as you have that little gadget. Today I saw a video with a child in a fun fair, and he was floating down a river with his mother, and it was spinning, and there were waves, there were splashes, and he was staring down into the screen, oblivious to what was happening around him. So the Romans started something that has rolled ever since, until it rolled down into our pockets and into the pockets of our children. Now, I'd submit that that's what we're contending with, something far, far greater than just a gadget, something far, far greater than the machine that is absorbing the attention and the childhood years of more and more of our children. This is not meant, of course, to lift our spirits or to give us some sort of fulcrum in which to change these things. It's more a lamentation with all those parents I've spoken to who've noticed this and who struggle with it. That it's not a personal failing if we find ourselves unable to hold on to our kids. Though there's a lot, we can do from early years in order to stay in relation with our children. But that will be another video. But for now, I just wanted to share with you that thought that has grown out of conversations I've been having recently with parents. That the Romans are in our pockets now. It looks innocent and it looks current or contemporary, but it has roots that go thousands of years back and has been 1,000 years coming. And it's a hard thing to contend with for all of us. Now, please share this video by liking it, subscribe if you want to see future videos, and hit the bell button and you'll get notifications. But that's it for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.